In this video we're going to look at how to set up a Turnitin originality check assignment. We can do this from Moodle just as we would other online assignments. The purpose of the Turnitin submission is so that we can check originality with our students' work, so that we can see that they're not plagiarising, not copying and pasting, etc. And it's not a definitive answer, it just gives you a good indication of whether a piece of work is likely to be plagiarised or not. The first thing you want to do is turn editing on in your Moodle course. Then go down to the topic where you'd like to add the assignment. Then we will go into add an activity. Click in here and you'll see near the bottom here is a Turnitin assignment. Click on that one. At this point you're going to set up some basic details so you can recognise the assignment 1 and put a summary here that is required. Hardware assignment. Right, if you scroll down you have some choices here. The submission type, file upload, means the students can actually upload a file they've already produced. Be aware here there's only certain types of files they can upload, Word document, text documents and things like that. It doesn't however take PowerPoints as files to upload. We use those quite a lot. If you want to check for originality on these, you'll have to get your students to save them as a PDF file and then they can upload them and it will work. But they won't be able to upload just straightforward PowerPoints. The other option is a text submission where they just paste the block of text into a box rather than putting a file up there for you. Or you could say any submission type to allow them to do text or upload a file. For now I'll click on file upload. Number of parts are just how many sections are there. If the assignment's got 3 different tasks within it that will come through separately, then choose 3. Maximum file size, well, 16 megabytes is likely to be enough. Grading here, what sort of percentage do we want? Student originality reports. If you want your students to be able to see the originality report themselves and to check themselves for plagiarism, change this to yes. Otherwise leave it as no. Allow late submissions, well, up to you, but I've put no. Report generation speed. If you want to get an originality report as soon as the work's gone up there, keep that option. If you want your students to keep reattempting at the upload until the actual due date of the assignment, you can choose that one. For the moment I'll keep it as final. The standard repository means that the students' papers will be stored on Turnitin's own servers for you. And then we've got some options. Do we want to check against stored students' papers? Probably yes. Against the internet, yes. Journals and publications, that's up to you, but I've got it as yes. Exclude the bibliography. Do you want any bibliographies to show up? I probably would clear that. Exclude quoted material. That means if the words are within quotes, do you want them to be checked or not? I've put no at the moment. There's a bit about grouping which we'll ignore at the moment, and then you can just save and display your assignment. It's taken a little time then just to get everything set up. When you've created the assignment, you'll be onto this page where it shows you the 3 different parts that I said I wanted. Start dates and due dates for each. Marks to be achieved for each one, and there's nothing to be exported or looked at the moment. One thing to be aware of, it seems to be a bit funny about the start date of your assignments. It doesn't always seem to recognise that they're ready to be uploaded on the same day that you've set up the assignment. So often I would go into this little pencil mark which is edit, and then I might change the date to the previous day just so that I'm sure I can actually upload work. There's a few sort of little settings in here, but we'll just submit those. Okay, so I've changed that one, so start date is previous day, just to make sure I can upload work. You've got a few little other tabs along the top here. The submissions inbox is where you'll go as a tutor to actually check what work has been assigned, and you'll see that the names of my students from the people who are actually enrolled onto Moodle are coming out automatically. You can change the settings here as to which ones you see, and you'll actually see, looking down here, that no one in the group has actually submitted any work yet. Now you've got a choice. You as a tutor might want to submit the student's paper to Turnitin to check for originality if you're concerned about it, or you may get the students to submit the work themselves. Either way, it's a very similar action.